Okay. Thank you very much. Let me start by greeting all the members that are here in the department, and I believe Minister also is with us today in the department. I'm going to start by introducing myself. And firstly, apologize for logging in a little bit late. I had a little bit of a hiccup when I tried to connect, but I'm happy that I'm here now. My name is Matlodi Maseko, and I'm the chair for the standing committee. If the members can introduce themselves, and after it will be Minister and the HOD with the department.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Derek America. I'm just a member of the committee. Yeah.
My apologies, members. I see member.
Good morning, Brett Heron, a member of the committee.
Thank you, member Brett Heron. I see member Andrikas, you are raising a hand.
To introduce myself, good morning, Andrikas van der Westhuizen, member of the committee.
Oh, okay. Thank you, member. Is there member Maran here or member Lily?
No, not yet, Chair. I will try and get them into the meeting.
Okay. Minister and HOD, if you can introduce the department. Officials.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. At the moment, my acting HOD is en route to Bito. I think she's a few kilometers behind me, so she's having connection problems. But I'll hand over to my CFO to introduce the rest of the team. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Good morning, Madam Chair, honourable members. I'm Francois de Wet. I'm the CFO for the department. Today, Ms. Maricela is the acting HOD. As the Minister indicated, they are on their way to Bito to see how they can resolve the issues around Kolweni. But she will meet as soon as she's get access to the meeting. I've got Roy Stewart here. He's the acting CD for planning.
I must have a look.
Brian Denton is the acting CD for implementation in Ms. Maricela's place. I've got Mr. Anwar Swartz, is the acting director affordable housing. I've got Mr. Kolo Panchwa, is the acting director strategic support while Benjamin on leave. I've got Munira Ali, the acting director for communications. And I've got Bubu Ngihalu, the head of ministry. I've also got Charlene Pretorius. She's the acting director for grant management. Thank you, Chairperson and members.
Thank you very much. Is there someone representing the city that has joined us today?
My name's Caroline Knott. As you may have heard, we sent apologies. Unfortunately, the officials just aren't available, so I'm here to monitor if there's anything the city must take up.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Really appreciate you for joining us today. Okay. Anyone that wants to introduce himself or herself that maybe I've skipped? Okay, it seems that I'm going to take it that we know each other. Okay, members, if you look at the agenda, we were supposed to be briefed by the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and the Rural Development on the background to the District 6 Restitution Project. And so far, we haven't received any communication from them. whether they are going to be with us or not. And of which, if we didn't receive that, that means they are not going to be here. So I just want to get the communication from the onset when we started with the department to invite them, how we structured that invite. Shumis, do you have it on your side that you can put it on the screen?
Yes, just give me a minute, please. Then I will call up the meeting plan.
I'm sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Are you winning, Shumis? Shumis? Okay, I've lost Shumis, or it's me who's not connected. Andrikas, can you hear me?
Can hear you, Chair.
Okay. So
Sorry, Chairperson, I'm just trying to connect. I can't seem to load the presentation. I just need to see. Oh, it's coming up now. Meeting plan.
okay, if you can go just on the chronological order of just go to the chronological order. Okay, so we started 2018 members with them. Just go up, Shumis. Yeah, just again,
Oops.
just a little bit, yeah. So we started 2018 in observing the last term, in observing the District 6, because of we got a communication from the District 6 community last term, and they were concerned that the housing part of the land restitution is really taking a long time, and most of the beneficiaries now they've passed away without really moving back to the District 6. We engaged the department, of which the department came, and there were plans that they said they're going to happen and they're going to implement, and a phase 1, 2, and 3 by now would have been done, and the some of the community would have moved back there. Fast forward now, I requested that the department can send the officials. I didn't request specifically the minister to come, just wanted to find out, as we saw that the District 6, they were worried that now there is a shift of some of them to move back to District 6. Now, communication has been going to and fro from our procedural officer with myself to the department, trying to secure the date for them to come to update us, not holding them accountable, just to find out what are the challenges where members as an oversight for the housing, because remember the communities out there, they don't see us as the national, provincial, or local. They see the government that is failing them. So we wanted to find out what are the challenges that maybe we can, as a committee, take a resolution to say, how can, since the housing is a mandate also for the province, how can we assist, or how can we forge a samenwerk and working together for the department for the sake of the community of District 6 to move back where they were forcefully removed. The unfortunate part is that the department, the minister's office responded. Initially, they sent the last meeting, I think it was the 28th of April, if I'm not wrong, that they sent the presentation, and they withdrew their presentation and said, no, they are not going to come, but they said they were going to come. I don't know what happened. Then after that, it became that no, the minister and the deputy minister are busy. And we said, no, any official can come, anyone from the department can come and brief us for us to understand what are the challenges there. Unfortunately, since the 12th of May, I think, we haven't had any communication. Our procedural officer, Shumisa, has been trying to communicate with them, keeping track on that every week that there is a communication, but no communication has come forth to the committee. So that's where we are. We waited until midnight yesterday to see if maybe they will respond overnight to say they are coming or what is the status, if they can give us another date, but nothing is coming forth. So I don't know from here which way are we going to go. And it's a little bit difficult because the department did the presentation the last time of where they are with the support to this, even though they are not responsible, is the national department and also the city. Now, the challenge that is there now is there is a land invasion that is happening within the land parcel of the District 6 restitution site. And responsibility now is with the city, the cost is with the city. I don't know if the department will eventually take responsibility for that or not, but that's what is happening now. And we have to say, how are we going to move forward in this issue? So I'm throwing back to you with that quick summary that I did to you members before we move on with the agenda, because that means we are not going today to deal with the issue of the District 6 land restitution. Is there any clarity or a question from members, or we should continue with the quarterly report of the department? Member Andrikas, I see your hand.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think we should continue to try and get the department. They've never said, as far as I understand, that they are unwilling to come, or, you know, that they will not come at all costs. And that we really try to still, you know, we need to monitor whether the city and the national department, you know, are speaking to one another sufficiently, and what role can we from province's side play to also perhaps bring this project to fruition. So I would like to propose that we don't quite step off this matter, but that we continue to engage with the department in trying to understand the challenges, etc. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. We will definitely do that. I don't know what is the feeling from the other members. Member Heron?
Chairperson, yes, I agree with Member van der Westhuizen that we keep trying. I mean, the District 6 restitution is an unusual restitution case in that the government has decided to not only return the land, but also develop it. And I think there's a lot of complications, there's a lot of history, and there's a lot of unhappiness amongst those who've already returned to that space, because some people have paid for the unit, some people have been given them free, and we do need to engage with the department about how they intend to resolve it.
Yeah.
And make progress. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, members. I'm going to take it. Member America, do you want to say something? Or we should move forward? Member America? Okay. I'm going to take it, Shamis, you'll note that so that we can continue to try and secure another date until we can say, okay. Thank you very much. So we are going to continue with our agenda. and hand over. My understanding is from the department, or before I call for the presentation for their quarterly report. Caroline, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being with us. If you want to continue being with us, you may definitely do that. But if you have something to do, you can be excused, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. I'll leave you to it. Just a reminder that I sent Shumiz an invitation to pass on to members if they're interested in an event about the spatial planning for District 6, so she can communicate that to you.
Okay,
Thank
we
you
will
very much.
appreciate that. We will definitely appreciate that, and we'll honor that invitation.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Okay, bye. Okay, Minister. Is there any forwards you want to do before we continue with the presentation for the quarterly report?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'll be very brief, given that we're going to be very detailed in our presentation regarding the quarter four performance of the Department of Budget. Also note that between quarter three and quarter four is also a period where we saw various aspects of what we were supposed to deliver being impacted by variables outside of our control. But I think all in all, as the Provincial Minister, I am happy with the report that we will be tabling before the Standing Committee today. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Minister. Mr. Devet, are you going to lead us with the presentation?
Chairperson, I see that Ms. Maisela has also joined. Maybe she just wants to say something to the committee as well, and then we will do the presentation if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Maisela?
Good morning, Chairperson, members, colleagues. I am on the road going to attend a meeting in Plettenberg Bay, so do excuse me if the connection is bad. So today we'll be presenting the quarter four report, but with that we will also be highlighting the overall progress for the year in terms of the targets. The 2020 year was a difficult one, and I think we have reported previously that we did not manage to achieve certain targets due to the challenges that were presented to us by the pandemic. But be that as it may, we have done quite well on some of the indicators that we'll be presenting today, and we have put certain mitigation measures in place to make sure that we recover in this current financial year. So with that, then, Chairperson, I will hand over to Francois or Mzogolo to take us through the presentation. Thanks, Chairperson.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Panswa, he will do the presentation, and we will, all of us are ready to respond to the questions of the members. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you very much. You can go on.
Good morning. I'll be taking the.
I cannot hear anything. Is it only me?
Can you hear me now?
No.
Mzogolo,
can't hear either,
hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
No.
No, we still cannot hear you.
Very faintly.
Okay. Hello? Chairperson, I will take over while he's sorting out his sound problems.
Okay.
Chairperson, this is the unaudited figures for the year under review 2020-21, and as the acting HOD has indicated, it's been a very challenging year, but I think that we've done very well under the circumstances. Under Program 1 administration, there's an indicator 1.11 percentage of invoices paid within 30 days for the year. And our target was 98%, and we did achieve that target of 98%. So that also was challenging, taking into account the lockdown and so on, and then the issues that we had with getting invoices and getting it paid in time and getting it certified. It was quite challenging. The next one, Shumis, please. We plan to have one evaluation study. We've got M&E component. We do the monitoring, but we also need to evaluate the impact. And we wanted to do the evaluation of our informal settlement upgrading program. Unfortunately, this was going to be a very face-to-face type of intervention, and we had to postpone it to this year. So we didn't meet that target. We postponed that specific intervention evaluation study, and we've already gone out to tender. We've appointed, and that target it will move to this financial year. The next one, please, Shumis. Yeah, on our ICT systems, we performed there. We planned to do 4, but we at the end we did 6, and that came directly from COVID, and that we had to change our way of doing things. So we did 6 ICT solutions. We implemented my track. We implemented the housing app, a consultants register, the dashboard of performance, easy to have the bird's eye view on performance throughout the year. Then an online workbook for the rental housing tribunal, and then also SharePoint that on Microsoft Office. So we worked very well on that specific one. Thank you. Next one. Previous one, please. The number of initiatives executed as part of the implementing departmental business continuity plan. Our target was 2. We achieved 4, and all this is spread out of COVID-19 and the interventions that was needed to ensure that the department could respond to the challenges by as presented via COVID. Next one, please. Then on Program 2 policy, we planned 1 policy and we achieved the policy, and that was in respect of sustainable building technology versus ABT, alternative building technology. So sustainability becomes the big word, and we did that research, and we have a policy now in place to focus on sustainability instead of alternative. Next. Number of policy implementation guidelines approved. There's 1 that we achieved, and we planned it as well. And yeah, so the next one, please. Right, under planning, we've got the compliance issue around the Part D of the annual performance plan. And that was done and achieved, and our performance plan was our annual performance plan was approved, as well as the business plan linked to that. Then the number of integrated implementation plans for priority housing development areas implemented by 31st of March. That specific one was also achieved, and there's no further action there. Number of approved human settlement projects contained in the IDP chapter based on the objectives of outcome 8 and representing national and provincial priorities by the 31st of March 2021. Our target was 3 and we did 8, and for the year it was 10 against the 10, so we achieved that target. Then the number of municipalities that the department provides with technical support, including the transfer of skills to enable the municipalities to produce development plans for human settlements by 31st of March. And we're glad to report that we assisted all 25 municipalities in that initiative. Thank you. Number of township establishment processes within the priority housing development areas completed by the 31st of March 2021. That specific one, our target was 0. We changed that in the adjustments budget because that project didn't come off we didn't start with that project, and the funds will be prioritized to other implementation ready projects due to budget cuts. Number of research reports developed by the 31st of March 2021. We planned for 1 and then we achieved that one as well. Thank you. Financial interventions is under program 3. That's where the big money lies. Program 3, the grant, HSDG. And there the number of beneficiaries earning between 0 to 3,500 Rand, provided with subsidies through the individual subsidy, non-credit linked program. And we targeted 40 in that specific quarter. And for the year, we targeted 130 and we achieved 285. Next. Number of beneficiaries earning between 3,501 to 22,000 Rand per month, provided with subsidies through the finance-linked individual subsidy program, the FLISP, one of the priorities of the department. And we, although we've targeted 175 in the 4th quarter, we did 350, but overall we did not achieve that target of 1143. We only achieved 915 of those, and the big problem was in the 1st quarter where we were totally under, and that was when the hard lockdown was, and some of those units were that was ready for transfer couldn't be transferred and was actually invaded and vandalized. So, but we will improve on this, and we will do more this year, pick up all the shortfall there. Next. Then the indicator 3.3, number of sites connected to basic services as part of the Integrated Residential Development Program, the IRDP, by the 31st of March. And we planned 761 for this quarter. We did 2351, and we overachieved on our annual target of 4164. We actually achieved 4783. And the reason why there was such a big increase in delivery in the last 2 quarters is due to how it's counted. It's counted when the municipality signs off on those services, and then it can only be counted. So I'm pleased that we achieved that target, overachieved on that target. Thank you. Next. Number of housing units delivered that have reached the stage of practical completion as part of the integrated residential program. And our target was 1243. In the fourth quarter, we did 1423, and but we underachieved, and it's again due to that first quarter and a little bit of the second quarter, but we accelerated big time in the last two quarters, but we underachieved there. Thank you. Here's the number of sites connected to basic service as part of the upgrading of informal settlements program. This specific one, we under-delivered, and although it's a huge, one of our priority areas, we didn't do well on that specific one, and that can mainly be blamed on the COVID pandemic. We started to accelerate at the end of the financial year, and we did only 421 against a target of 1533. Next. The number of informal settlements upgraded to phase 3 by 31st of March, and we planned to have 1, and the actual delivery was 1, and that was the upgrading of the Masakani informal settlement in Gansbaai, and that's completed on time. It was a nice big project. Number of housing units delivered that have reached the stage of practical completion as part of the PHP, and we underachieved there as well. Again, we accelerated at the end of the financial year as the COVID-19 was relaxed, and but we couldn't get all of those numbers in. So we planned 1420, and we only achieved 1148. But we've got momentum at this moment in time. Next. Then the percentage of human settlement development grant paid to contractors in designated groups in terms of the Provincial Procurement Policy Framework Act within the housing sector by 31st of March. Our target was 50%. We achieved 67.53%, and we actually overachieved there. That's an annual target. Thank you. Then a percentage of the amount spent on designated groups paid to contractors with women representation within the housing sector. And for the first time, the department can announce that we exceeded that planned target of 10%, where our actual delivery was 14.68%. The youth, we also overachieved the 4%, whereby we allocated contracts to the value of 5.34% of the grant allocation to youth. Next. Next, please. Number of jobs opportunities facilitated by the 31st of March. Our planned target was 800. We achieved 926. So there was an overachievement on that specific one. Then the number of young people trained by 31st of March, that was underachievement, directly linked to COVID, because these people need face-to-face training, They cannot do it virtually. You cannot learn how to lay a brick virtually or do plumbing virtually. So that specific one is underachieved, but we will pick it up this year and accelerate that program, because it is one of our strategies to increase job opportunities and so on. Number of title deeds registered for new, this post 2014 developments by the 31st of March. Our target for the fourth quarter was 2,200. We did 1,937. Our target for the year was 7,000, but we only achieved 2,642. And it is also linked to the COVID. And the deeds office was closed for some time, that we didn't get stuff through. But we are driving this very important program, and we will accelerate it this year again. Thank you. Then here's an overachievement. That was the title deeds registered to eradicate the pre-2014 backlog. That specific one, with our target for the year was 1,000, and we did 3,598, and that is mostly due to the good work that the City of Cape Town does. That they submit in the last quarter, they submit their annual figures for us, and as you can see, it's just a huge number of title deeds that went through. And it's really heartwarming that people, having lived in houses pre-2014, now got their title deeds. Total number of houses built using sustainable building by the 31st of March. That specific target was achieved for the year. Our target was 1,000 units. We did 1,035. So that's an achievement. Number of rental units developed. We are going out to program 4 to municipalities in terms of Section 15 of the Housing Act. We plan to do 34, that is flats. That unfortunately didn't happen. It is in process at this moment in time. Municipalities once we're doing assessments on what is needed for those units before we can transfer it, and that process is well underway, and we will achieve our targets for this year on that specific one. Then number of beneficiaries who benefited through the Enhanced Extended Discount Benefit Scheme, EDBS. Our planned target was 650. We did 928. And again, the City of Cape Town did very well. Number of title deeds transferred to qualifying beneficiaries of pre-94 housing units. That is by ourselves. We planned to do 110, and our actual delivery was 112. Thank you, Chairperson, and we will take questions, and I will direct to the various managers for the detailed responses when needed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francois. Really appreciate that. I'm going to take the questions from the members. I'm seeing the hand of member Andrikas van der Westhuizen. Over to you.
Yes, thank you, Chair. And thank you to the department for the presentation. It seems indeed as if it's been a difficult year, and I will later, when we come to resolutions, propose that we try to look also at comparative figures from previous years. My one question is regarding the whole issue of title deeds. On the one hand, and I think it was about the slide 28, 29, we learned that, part of the problem for the underachievement was problems with the deeds office. And I do know that also from other sources that they have been disrupted, and that a lot of pressure had to be put onto the deeds office, because they play a very important role, not only in terms of the kind of housing that we try to deliver on, but also in terms of general economic activity. Normally when a house is registered onto a new owner's name, there's an opportunity for contractors to come and do maintenance work, etc. But then on some of the other slides, where, for example, the city of Cape Town surely also must rely on the deeds office, they've been able to overachieve. So, Chair, I would like to ask why then were we able to overachieve and working with the same deeds office, but then on the one slide we've said we've underachieved because of the problems of the very same deeds office. It just doesn't make sense to me. Then secondly, Chair, I think we must take note that there have been quite a number of areas where the underperformance was not only slight, but it was really a dismal underperformance. And I do hope that the department would pay urgent attention to those targets and to those areas. And then lastly, Chair, to come back to deeds, I've yesterday seen some tables of outstanding deed transfers that dates from apparently pre-1994. And it was a breakdown per municipality. And with my interest in Drakensberg, which is a constituency of mine, and my interest in Stellenbosch, where I used to be a councillor, and quite frankly, I've been, at that time, been unaware of the enormous backlog dating back even to the pre-1994 days. Now, Chair, my concern is just, people pass on, things change, and that the situation might become even more complicated as time goes. So please, if I could just ask, is the department also aware? Is it true? And what are they doing regarding the pre-1994 deeds backlog? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Any question from member Hera?
Chair, I have a few questions if I can go.
Yes.
Thank you. My first question is with regards to the adjustment of the target for the establishment of townships, also maybe similarly related to Member van der Westhuizen's question around the deeds office. I mean, there are lots of other processes that are involved in the establishment of a township, and the deeds office is one small component of it. So I don't understand why that was removed from the objectives of the department. What townships were meant to be established? What was the plan? Where were they, and why were they removed? Because the deeds office was slow, not completely closed. I mean, I also bought a property in this year, and it went through within a reasonable period of time, although a little delayed. So I don't really buy the deeds office excuse. Of course, the housing, where it actually counts, when we come to the actual numbers of families that have been assisted, in almost every category we have an underperformance, which is really disappointing given the high housing crisis that we have. And although COVID-19 and the pandemic has got some role to play, I don't really accept that it has devastated the delivery to the extent to which the department is presenting. For example, the upgrade of informal settlements, I mean, to 421 sites in a whole year is just abysmal. And one informal settlement is upgraded in a year. It's just, those numbers are just shocking. And I think that we need a better explanation for what has happened in the department. So my question is really about the poor performance in every deliverable when it comes to housing numbers. And then this it appears to me to be a very weak excuse that township establishments had to be stopped because the deeds office was operating slowly. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable America, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning again. Chair, I just want to carry on with what the previous speakers mentioned about the deeds office. But my focus is not particularly on the office itself, but there's a significant underperformance in terms of the transfer of title deeds, and it was stated that we will make up for the underperformance. Now, I want to know, how are we going to make up for the underperformance, because the underperformance is significant, and the budget associated with the transferring of properties to beneficiaries have been significantly reduced, and in some instances have been done away with the grants provided by national government. That's the one question. The second question, one of the outcomes that was achieved in terms of the generation of a research report, but what's the detail about what research report was conducted, and how accessible it is, and how does it inform our decision making? There's no clarity in terms of the research report that was conducted. A third point I want to raise, Chair, is that in terms of delivery, there's a sort of a consistent challenge being raised, and we know the challenge of land invasions. So my question doesn't relate around land invasions, but around gangsterism. Now, how does the challenge of gangsterism impact on the delivery of the services that we promise to deliver, and is it a metropolitan phenomenon, and or is it a provincial wide challenge in terms of reaching the outcomes that we wish to achieve? And then thirdly, is the cost that the department suffer as a result of the delay in delivery of the service as a result of gangsterism, because it contributes to significant delays, and it contributes to vandalism and etc. And then yeah, for that's all for now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I am going to hand over Francois. Mr. Devet, you will give direction who's going to respond to which question.
Thank you. The title deeds will be dealt with by Roy Stewart. I can just mention that the City of Cape Town has a dedicated team, a big team that's just focusing on title deeds. So, but Roy will give us more detail on the title deeds. Then the township establishment from Minister from Member Herron. I will ask Roy is the acting CD to deal with that one as well. And then Member America, he also wanted some information, more information on title deeds. I can just mention that we've done a lot of money was paid over to the municipalities based on their title deeds backlogs. So although the grant has been stopped, we still have money available to complete those projects. Then the research report is also Roy. as acting CD, he can direct further if you want to. And the gangsterism part, I will speak to Brian Denton on the delivery side, can speak to that. Thank you.
Mr. Stewart, are you going to start?
Yeah, good morning, Chair, and good morning, members, Minister, colleagues. Just to restart off with the title deeds, the question that was posed by member.
Sorry, Roy, if you can increase your volume a little bit. You can go on.
Yeah, so in terms of the title deeds, as the CFO has indicated, it is indeed the City of Cape Town has the capacity. It has a dedicated team. Now, just to go back into post-lockdown, it was well known even in the private sector that the deeds office closed about almost eight times. That also affected private sector conveyancing matters to the extent that the national minister was called to account for the often a closure of the Cape Town office. Now, to explain to you the title deeds process is there are various steps in the conveyancing process. The City of Cape Town was fortunate enough to have had all the beneficiary identification and the verifications done. So most of this stuff were at the city, at the deeds office. And the time when the deeds office opened, many of their transfers went through. The other municipalities have difficulty in performing their verification processes. So they also lacked capacity. They applied, we requested them to apply. They have, as the CFO has also indicated, they have funds available with them. So they had to apply to make use of those funds to get the beneficiary verification done. They have done so under difficult circumstances because of the contact that was avoided, that they couldn't make any contact with from door to door. We are now seeing the second wave, there was a number of verifications done. So the build up and the number of transfers is going to come through now in terms of those that are awaiting transfer. With respect to pre-94, the difficulty that we have with pre-94, post-94 up till current now, those are all on the HSS. It is unfortunate that the pre-94 is very difficult to track. We don't know what the numbers is, neither does National know. So we are working from outdated records, and it is correct that many of the beneficiaries have passed on, or they have just moved on, and other people are in those dwellings. So it is very difficult to issue title deeds in those respects. What we have done is we've consulted with our legal services, and that is part of our dispute resolution in terms of title deed restoration, that we are now crafting options for the municipalities through SALGA to assist in how they can facilitate the transfers of the pre-94 stock. So we are meeting with SALGA shortly to find solutions in how we can transfer those title deeds. The matter of the township registers, if I may just request Prashan Chandaka to respond to that question. But the other one that I wanted to respond is on the research report. The question was, what is that research report? The research paper was the expanding of the FLIS by linkage to non-loan types. So it is the delinking of the FLIS, the study that was done. That report is available, and it can be made available to the members. But if I may, at this point, just defer to Prashan Chandaka to give comment on the township register.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honourable members. With respect to the township establishment question from Member Heron, we need to appreciate that this is a new indicator, and the National Department was trying to give impetus towards the 14 declared priority housing development areas in the province. Therefore, the new indicator spoke to township establishments of projects within those priority housing development areas. At the time, around September, October last year, the deeds office had been closed because of positive COVID cases. And as soon as they reopened, they closed again. That was one aspect that was affecting it. But the other aspect was that we had the discussion with them, and with respect to public participation processes to establish the register in terms of the LUPA. At the time, it was foreseen that the public participation processes might be negatively affected because they could only occur once the deeds office opened. And therefore, the National Department agreed to change the indicator and move it to the following year. However, what did happen, and Member Heron's question was which projects were targeted or projected at the time. It was Kayamandi Zone O in Stellenbosch, Destiny Farms in Theobartuskloof, Saldanha Vredenburg Louisville, the 155 project, and Overstrand Mount Pleasant. And Chairperson, as it happened through the year, as the year played itself out, we actually did achieve the township establishments for those 4 projects. But according to the formal process, once the indicator had been removed and pushed to the following year, we could not count these formally within the 2021 financial year. Chairperson, I'll allow the implementation team to speak to the UISP 421 sites question. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Minister, Chairperson, members and colleagues. I just prepared. I'll first start with the question from Member America regarding the delivery and the impact of gangsterism, and whether that is only a metro phenomenon. No, this has also occurred in our flagship projects, namely Drakenstein and in Drakenstein, Vlakkeland and Vredebes, where work were also halted and obviously having an impact on delivery. I think the biggest impact of not only the gangsterism, but also the threat of invasions of both sides and illegally occupying housing units has cost the department dearly and obviously impacting on our budget. I speak under correction, but I think we spent more than almost 70 million just in security, but our CFO could maybe just latch on to that. Regarding the UISP and the 400 sites, look, I hear what the member Heron is saying regarding the deeds office, but it's not only just the deeds office. We also, in terms of staff coming in, we had staff could not be on site, and in offices in office we had to work on a rotational basis. So those were definitely challenges that not only affected the delivery in the UISP, but also all other aspects. So we accept we underachieved there, but we were under very strenuous conditions, and yeah, there's no real excuse for that. I don't know if maybe one of the other colleagues in terms of the implementation team could add to the underachievement of the UISP, the 400 sites. Thank you, Chair.
I think, Chair, if you allow me, I can add. I'm hoping that I'm audible enough. I again do excuse the fact that I'm driving. I'm just rushing to that meeting in Plett. Another challenge with UISP, implementation of UISP projects, is that we often find that the communities are reluctant to cooperate with the department when it comes to the actual implementation and construction. Whilst in the signing of the social compact, they would indicate that they are willing to cooperate and that in actual fact they will cooperate. When we have the contractors on site and we are ready to commence with the implementation, they make new demands. For example, they would even refuse to relocate to temporary relocation areas. As you would understand that in all these informal settlements, densities are quite high. So in order for us to go in and put infrastructure and water, sewer, roads, stormwater, we would need to decant certain people, some permanently, some to a temporary relocation area, and then they will be brought back. But we often find that they even refuse to relocate. Case in point, the project in Joe Slovo, which now has unfortunately been halted because people refuse to relocate and cooperate. And as a result, the land that was earmarked and identified for decanting was subsequently invaded. And we have got nowhere else to relocate and decant the people to. And they will not relocate to any area further than 5 kilometers. And they cite various reasons. In certain instances, we've even offered to provide transport for people who are working within the area, even scholar transport for the duration of it. But even in those instances, the communities refuse. And in such cases, the department's hands are tied. There's absolutely nothing we can do. What we have also introduced is the NGOs to try and assist the departments engage with the communities so that they can work with us and we could ultimately deliver on what we've set and planned to do. So Member Heron is correct that it was not necessarily just the COVID issue, but the community dynamics, particularly when it comes to in-situ upgrading of these informal settlements, is problematic, and we're still trying to find ways around ensuring that the community actually works with the department to deliver within the projects. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I checked all the questions. I think they've been answered. Members, is there any question that you feel wasn't responded to? Member Heron?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to follow up with Peter's response around the upgrade of informal settlements. So I was talking about the 421 sites, and there's been some response to that. But the way Peter was responding, it sounded like she was mixing the informal settlement upgrade with the UISP program, which is the 421 sites, talking about the two programs interchangeably. So we had an indicator here where we had one informal settlement that has been upgraded in the financial year, and 421 sites were established. So are we saying that that's in the same informal settlement, or was there a different informal settlement that was upgraded, and what does that mean? I mean, how does that differ from the 421 individual sites? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pilar, can you hear us to respond to that?
Yes, Chair. Member Heron, so the UISP is upgrading of informal settlements program. So it's one of the programs in the code, and it is geared towards upgrading of informal settlements. So it could be that we're upgrading informal settlements to a stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3. Stages 1 and 2 essentially talks to interim services. So that would be in areas where we're planning to put shared services on a basis of 1:5 and 1:25 for water and sanitation respectively. And the 421 is actually upgrading of informal settlements. The one target that you're referring to specifically talks to a stage 3 where the entire settlement has been upgraded to a phase 3. That essentially means in situ upgrading. You go in and they look at all the other aspects that form part of the upgrading program, and they've set out certain key outputs as the indicator that was set by national. So it is all funded under the same program, but the indicator itself talks to two different components within the program. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. Member Heron, are you?
If I may just ask, just for the clarity, are we talking, are the 421 sites in the one informal settlement that was upgraded? I mean, are they linked, or are they two separate projects or two separate communities?
If I may, through you, Chair,
Yes.
it's different projects, Member Heron. So that one segment refers to a settlement that needs to be identified, one settlement, where we need to ensure that there's upgrading up to a phase 3. But the 421 runs across various projects, and we can certainly provide the detail of those projects, Chairperson. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Member America, I saw your hand.
Thank you, Chair. It's a new question. Am I able to ask that?
Yes.
Chair, the question that I neglected to ask previously was in terms of youth empowerment, and I think 150 was targeted, and the explanation that was provided is that that empowerment project requires face-to-face interaction, and due to the lockdown, that was not possible. That's understandable, Chair. But the question that I would like to know, ask is there was a budget for those sort of quantity of empowerment skills development programs. And it's a third of it was achieved for the financial year, meaning that close to 100 had not, because of the challenges, had been sort of achieved. In the new financial year, Chair, was there accommodation for that underdevelopment to be incorporated in this new financial year? Because we were told now that we'll make it up in this financial year. So has we transferred the budget and the deficit into the new financial year to make up for that underperformance? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Member. Francois or Pilar, who's going to respond?
Chairperson, just on those training programs, that was funded from was going to be funded from OPSCAP. So what happened? We moved the OPSCAP money when we see that we are not going to achieve that target and all those interventions are not happening. We moved it back to subsidies. So the money was not lost; it was just transferred to subsidies and to either services or top structures. Thank you.
Okay, just from me, okay, Member America, you first.
Immediate follow-up, Chair.
Yeah.
So but the implication, what I could deduce from that response, Chair, is that those opportunities will not be recreated in the new financial year because we have transferred the budget to another area of expenditure.
Francois? Mr. Divet?
Chairperson, we make the money available. We make money available to cover the deficit of the previous year. Just to indicate, in Mossel Bay, we were going to do 45 interventions with bricklaying, painting and plastering, 15 each. Now, that project where we were going to do it, that project was delayed, okay? And we couldn't do it. But that project is being done this year, so that intervention will happen this year. The jobs and the skills development is a high priority of this department and of the provincial government, and we will ensure that sufficient money is made available for for those interventions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a quick one from me. You mentioned the issue of the houses that you already built and were invaded and vandalized. I think it's for the 3,501 rand to the 22,000. I just want to find out how did that happen, because my understanding is that you build per demand. So if you were building those houses, let's say in George, that means that house is attached to Matlodi. Now, what were the reasons that those houses were invaded before Matlodi can receive the house?
Right, okay, George, I presume George was just an example. Pilar Pilar wants to respond to that one, but it was mostly in Cape Town that we had that incidents. Pilar, are you going to respond to that one?
Okay. Pilar?
Yes, Chairperson. I think it was also linked to the beneficiary administration process from municipalities. And I mean, we saw this in Bredasdorp, for example, where units were vandalized, and in the area of Bela in Cape Town, and even in our own projects of Forest Village. We require people to come and sign up as part of the Ben admin process. And there was, again, delays with people coming forth to sign up so that we could conclude the processes. Yes, indeed, we do identify the beneficiaries up front, but it's a beneficiary administration process which resulted in the delays, where the municipalities would indicate that the community, notwithstanding the fact that they've sent out notices, they're not coming forth to sign their deeds of sale so that we could conclude the process. Thanks, Chairperson.
Okay. Thank you, members. Is there any other question? Going once, twice. There's no any other question. So I'm just going to say thank you very much to the department. The minister requested to be excused because he's handling a crisis in Bito municipality where Pilar is on her way to go to. So Pilar, again, thanks for availing yourself, even though I know you're jam-packed with the demand of you being in the meeting to try and sort out the challenges that are out there in the human settlements. So you can also just continue with driving to get there on time. And to Mr. Divet, thank you very much. Thanks for always being there and also answering those questions that are from us. We will really want to continue to engage with you. There are some concerns that the members, like the title deeds, the pre-94 title deeds, it's a worrying factor. Also the 2014, also we have to check the backlog and the backlog of pre-94, that how far is the department, as you have availed some funds to make sure that you give that dignity to our communities. And it has to be across the board and not priority be to the city only. So with that being said, thank you very much. You can really excuse yourself so that we can continue with our administration. I don't know if Mr. Divet, representing the department, is there anything that you want to say? The last word that you want to say to us?
Thank you, Chairperson, and thank you, members, for all the questions. We will come back with further information when needed, and maybe there we should have a dedicated session on the title deeds, so that we can also get the guidance from the committee to assist us in going forward with it. Thank you, everybody, and have a very good weekend.
Okay. Thanks for everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Members, thank you. Thank you. Mepila, you're still around. I thought you left us. Thank you very much. Members, let's continue with our agenda. But before that, can we do the resolutions? For this, is there any info, any engagement that the members would love us to do in taking this forward? Member America?
Thank you, Chair. In terms of the research report, because we don't know the research objective and the scope of the research report and the findings and the outcomes, could we possibly get a copy of that report?
Okay.
Excuse me, Chairperson, through you. I have, while the meeting was ongoing, circulated the report to all members.
Okay, yep, but I just want the members to say so that you can compare with what you have, and then it will cut the time short in trying to find out what do the members want to capture in the resolutions.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Member Heron, I saw your hand, and after Member Andrikas.
No, that must be an old hand, Chair.
It's a wisdom hand, don't worry. Member Andrikas?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to ask that, propose to the committee for your consideration, that we ask of the department if we could have for the last 5 years the performance figures in terms of the targets, so that we can just have an overview or comparison of these targets and how the achievements were over the last 5 years. I think it will help us to be able to see whether we are moving forward and where there may be challenges, so that we can identify them. That would be my first proposal. The second one is that we take the department up on their offer and perhaps have a meeting dedicated and specifically also ask for figures regarding the title deeds and the backlog in terms of the transfer of properties. And the reason why I feel so strongly about title deeds is, it's a problem that becomes worse and worse as time goes on, because people pass on, people move out of their houses, etc. And I'm concerned that eventually, all those properties would be in the provinces or in the municipality's name, and they would be responsible, therefore, for replacing those homes if they burn, if there's damage they need, because I'm not going to repair or maintain a property that is not mine. So I really believe this should be a priority and something that we should concentrate on, and also ensure that enough budget is dedicated to that. And those are my resolutions that I proposed, Chair.
Thank you very much. Member Schmidt?
Are those the only resolutions, Chairperson?
Okay, so you captured all of them as they came?
Yes.
Sorry, Chair, there was the earlier one that we continue to engage with the Department of Rural Development regarding the District 6. I trust that would also be captured.
Which one of the special planning? Member America?
Chair, regarding our invitation for them to come and engage with us, that we continue to invite them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that one we already captured that. After that we will continue to invite them and try so that we can try and engage with them. And it was just for the third quarter now that I wanted us to capture that also. Shumis, did you capture all of them?
Yes, I did, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, members, we are in agreement with the resolutions. Can we consider and adopt the minutes? We have a long list, and I know Member Andrikas have sent me some of them. I'm just going to have a look at the communication. Okay, the minutes. Let's start with the minutes of the meeting that was held on the 3rd of March. Shumis, Member Andrikas, I see your hand.
Yeah, sorry, Chair. Before we step off the resolutions completely, in one of the documents that we're going to consider just now, the tracking document, there was an explanation or an answer from the department regarding the de novo development.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, when I posed the question at the time, I was more interested in the future development of de novo as an area for additional housing. Now, the answer we've received, and my attention unfortunately was only drawn to that last night when I was going through the documents, was that they only referred to the upgrading of the existing houses on the property. And therefore, if we could have a resolution also that we be provided with the information regarding the planning process for the subdivision of de novo for future housing needs. And I believe Shamise would be able to, put that to paper, and if we could, as a committee, also accept that as a resolution. Thank you.
I want a member, don't you want to put a written question so that you can get the response quicker than waiting for it on the committee side? Are you happy with waiting it for the time frame? Because at least on already your answer has been delayed a bit because there was misinterpretation. Are you happy to wait for the period that you can wait? Because at least the written question, within 2 weeks, you'll have the response.
I'll then submit a written question.
You are happy with it? Okay. Okay, member. Thank you very much. Can we continue with the minutes? The minutes of the meeting that was held on the 3rd of March. Shamise, are you going to show it to us? Shamise?
Chairperson, I'm having a little problem. I'm speaking to Shiraz to help me upload it.
Okay. Members, I know you received that before. Can we, so that I don't take your time of Friday, Member America?
Chair, I've gone through the minutes and I propose that we adopt the minutes of the 3rd of March.
Okay, thank you very much, Member America. And the seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you very much.
Support.
Member Heron. Okay, Shamise, we are done with that one. The minutes of the 17th is the one that you can flash in front of us. Okay, on the minutes of the 17th, Member Andrika, so on page 2, just below welcoming, Shamise, go to page 2. Just below welcoming, the 220, it should be 220.8 million, not 800 million. And the 7,800 should be 70.8 million. So it's those figures to cut off those zeros. And on 5, there is a 2020 was allocated, which is the 20 million. Also, you have to make a correction to that. That's the 17th of March minutes. Do you see that, Shamise? Okay.
Chairperson, I'm trying to open up the minutes and I can't feel, but I have made the changes as advised by Honorable Member Andrikas.
Okay, with those corrections, members, can we adopt the 17th of March? Okay, thank you very much, member. Seconder?
I second that, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we are on the 28th of April. The paragraph numbering again, 4.2.7 should read 4.2.5. And also, pardon? Okay, and also the 3.2.12 should read 322 instead of 3212. Okay, did you make those corrections, Shamis?
Yes, Chairperson, I have worked on those corrections.
Okay, thank you very much. With those corrections, can we adopt members?
I'd propose.
Thank you very much, Member Andrikas. Seconder?
I second that, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. We are on the 11th of June. The Plettenberg Bay.
I see Honorable America was not present at that meeting, like me.
Oh, like you
You
were
just
not in that
seconded in
meeting.
the minutes that he didn't know even happened.
Okay. Okay. We are on the 18th of June, Shumis. Oh, Member America?
That, Chair, those paragraph renumbering that you were suggested is in relation to this particular report and not in relation to the minutes of the 28th of April. So if you could effect those changes to this report, then it will be okay, I suppose.
Okay, we should do that to this report of the 11th. Sorry. Shumis, did you see where is it? What's happening? Okay, move down.
Are we referring to the report for Plettenberg and Neisner?
Member America?
That's correct, Chair.
Okay, go to the numbering. Member America, I've picked up something on your numbering that is not correct. Wait, it's on the it's the same of the 3.2.1, Member America?
That's correct, Chair.
So it's 3.2.1.2. And then you want the correction on, okay. Thank you very much. With that correction, Member America already has proposed that we adopt. And a seconder.
Chair, I recently learned that although I haven't been on the oversight, I can apparently support the adoption of a report.
Yes. Thank you very much. Can we continue with the program? Okay, members. Let's start at the beginning, Shumis. On our report, yeah. Okay. The Wednesday, the 28th of April, we spent actual 1463. Okay, that is what we already did. Let's continue. And then we went to Langeberg also. Let's continue. And today, of which the top agenda, that means we will carry through until we get the department. And on the next meeting, we don't have the date of the next meeting. And that's where I will suggest that we go for an oversight to address issues. I want to ask members, I want to see, how can I put this? I want to hear from the members if we can have a visit in jointly with the local government, and I'm happy that the chair for the local government is here, to check issues that are intertwining between the human settlement and the local government, being the projects, the housing projects, and the infrastructure being the basic services. To go out and check the challenges that are there. And also a thing that is coming out again and again is the database of the demand database that the municipalities, it seems they believe that the housing is only about free housing. They don't prioritize also those who are earning more than 3,501 to the 22,000. They have not internalized it, especially in the rural areas, to say when they do the projects, also they have to put the programs that can cater for those. And that's where you will find that there's a lot of outcry of the corruption happening, because even if a person is earning more than that, then waits and buy a house immediately, extends and do this and that and that. Whereas if it was catered for with where he qualifies the program that will cater for him, that wouldn't be happening. So I'm throwing it to you, members. We don't have to talk about it now. Think about it and check within yourself if that will be something that we can make strides or leave the footprints in trying to champion with the municipalities to understand the integrated development. Also talks to different programs within the human settlement that can also form the social interdependency of those who are working can hire those that are not working and become a good community. So that is what I think we have to populate our program as we move forward. Does it make sense to the members?
It does, Chair. I support your proposal.
Okay. Thank you. Member Heron, are you sports?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Member Andrikas?
Yes, happy to support.
Okay. Thank you. We will, I will take you, and trust me and Shumis to try to populate our program with that regard. And look at the dates, of which the date that we're looking at, it would have been July, but with the third wave, let's check what is happening and see how we can go about. But we'll communicate with the chair of local government also and see how are we going to go about. We will always consult with you to hear how can we go about. With that being said, can we adopt this report with the condition that we will, you will trust me and Shumis to make the right decision to populate it?
Yes, Chair, that's fine.
Implicitly, okay. Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Member Andrikas?
No, it was just to indicate that I also support it.
Okay, thank you very much. Where are we now? Okay, we are on the quarterly report, Shumis. Any corrections that you saw, members, on the quarterly report that you feel we have to?
I'm happy to support, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, members.
Second that.
Thank you very much, Member America, seconded by Member America. Can we, the tracking document, Shumis? Can you put in a slide that is important that the members can see that? Okay, move. Most of the things, there's no further action that is required. We are done with those issues. Okay. Okay, can we adopt that if there's no any amendment that member proposes?
Propose that we adopt, Chair.
Thank you very much, member.
Chair?
Member Mehere?
Yeah, I don't. This document wasn't part of the documents that are mailed. Can we get it in mail as well, please?
Okay.
Sure, I will mail this document.
I'll appreciate that, Shumis, if you can do that. Can we, so we cannot adopt if the members haven't seen it unless we.
I'm happy to adopt it. I just would like to read the detail,
Okay.
and I'm not able to read it on the screen as it's running past us.
All right. No, thank you.
Teams, Ms. Maseko, I will forward to the members via email.
Okay, I will appreciate that, Shumis. Thank you very much, members, and my apologies for that. I thought you also had that in your pack. Okay, and the annual activities report, Shumis? Did you receive it, members? Okay, continue, Shumis. Okay. So overview of the committee's activities, you can see, members, we had 18. Shumis, go down just once. No, go up. Okay, just here. We had the committee meetings 18 and public hearings 5, oversight visits 2, and provincial bills considered 4. Let's continue, Shumis. Continue. Okay. Continue. You will hear the members if there's something that they will comment on. Okay, members, there I present to you the annual activities report. As at 18 June 2021. Can I get support to that for us to adopt it?
I support, Chair.
Adopt, Chair.
Thank you very much. Seconder Member America. Thank you very much, honorable members. And with that being said, it's a wrap. Really appreciate your presence today and taking the day on a Friday to continue with our oversight role. It's really much appreciated, and more appreciated from Member Heron, just got out of being sick, and happy to hear his voice and seeing that he is recovering nicely. So we really appreciate you, Member Heron.
Thank you so much.
Being with us. And members, appreciate all of you. At the same time, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, Shamis, and thank you, Siraj, for your presence also.
Chairperson, before you go, the matter with regards to the City of Cape Town inviting the committee to their District 6 update. If members can maybe just inform me whether they are going to be attending that meeting. I have forwarded the invitation.
When did you forward it?
This morning.
Okay. Members, if you can respond to Shamis on the email of the invite from the city for their plans for the District 6, it will be very much appreciated.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Have a lovely weekend and day.
And you too, Honorable Member, have a safe weekend.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank everybody else.
Okay. To all of you, be safe out there. Meeting is adjourned. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for your assistance. It was